Rest is productive. Rest is very productive. I hope you're doing well today. My name is Bree. I'm almost 24 and I'm on a growth journey to become the best version of myself. So today I'm talking about rest and balance and how it's a key part of the process, truly. And side note, I just want to make it a point that I'm filming outside, which is outside of my comfort zone. And there's like people that might be passing by, so I'll move the camera a little bit. But yeah, rest is such an important part of the growth journey. And I say that because people don't think that rest is productive. People think it's you, me, people being me. I thought it was something like me being lazy, me not doing enough. But rest is essential because when you pause, when you settle, when you allow yourself to be human and feel your emotions and be still, that's when you really find yourself and reflect. You know, if you had a hard, or not even a hard, just like a month or a couple of months or even a week where you are constantly on the go, on the go, on the go, and you finally get time to settle down. Well, first of all, I want to make it a point that I make rest a priority. Like, if I don't get enough sleep, I'm not going anywhere. If it does not benefit me in terms of the next day, like, who is it benefiting if I get 4 hours of sleep and I have to go into work the next morning? Outside can wait. Always been that type of person. Outside can wait on me. But when you take that time to be still, you tend to reflect on yourself. You know, you become more self-aware. You can look at the weeks that you had and just reflect on what you liked, what you didn't like, what rubbed you the wrong way. And I wanted to make it a point that I was never one to be on the hustle, on the grind, like none of that. Burnout is a part of the process, or especially if you're a creative, like burnout is gonna happen. The grind culture was never for me. I was never one to just do. And you realize a lot of the times when people are just doing things, well, sometimes people are just doing things to escape their reality. So it may look like they're doing some things, and they may be. I don't want to discredit anybody's progress or anything like that. When you really take a step back and look at who's on the go, most of the time they're doing it just to cover up a faulty foundation. And what I mean by that is they don't feel the most secure, wherever that may be, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, physically. Wherever they might be lacking, they'll make up for it in doing things. And sometimes people just really do things for the plot. You know, I'm a very intentional person, so I tend not to do things for the plot, just to do things just to do them. I make sure it aligns with me and I make sure that it feels right. So just be weary of doing things constantly and being on the go, grinding, hustling. Like, that was never me. I don't know. There's a lot of illusions out there. There's a lot of people just, again, having facades, and you look behind the scenes and they're unhappy. Don't feel like you're not doing enough if you are in a rest period, because it is essential, and you're not lazy. Just, when I'm in my rest periods, I'm really just observing and reflecting, and that is essential if you want to become the best version of you, like reflecting on yourself, your progress, where you are, where you want to be, where you have been, and what you can work on, and the next steps forward. And I do want to point out, like, too much of anything is not good. If you have too much water, you could potentially drown yourself, and water is a good thing. And if you work out too much, you could deplete your own body or destroy your own body. That's why rest days are essential, right? Because if you're working out 7 times a week, high intensity, you're breaking down your body more than you're helping it. You're harming yourself more than you're helping yourself. Why? Because your body needs time to repair. Your body needs time to rebuild and repair itself and not break down. So everything needs to be at a balance. And I want to point out, in my last video, I talked about smoking and drinking and not being so dependent on it. I didn't mean don't smoke and drink. I didn't mean like if that's something you do, give it up completely. And the perks of filming outside, I got interrupted here, but basically the point I was trying to make is, if that is something you do, keep it at a balance, because there is a point in time where I could not function without smoking, and that's when it becomes a problem, when you can't eat without smoking, when you can't do certain activities without smoking first, when you can't shower without smoke. Like, that's what I meant by that. So just wanted to clarify. I feel like I had a really good point, but I just lost it. It's okay. It's okay. They were nice. Yeah, again, I'm outside of my comfort zone. Like, I'm outside. This is not something I normally do if you look at my channel, but here we are. Anyway, if you're too aggressive in your approach in anything, it tends not to work out. At least for me, like if you are constantly just pushing and pushing, and you fall into a place where you're forcing things, and that's the last thing you want to happen. You want things to flow, and resting is a huge part of flow, because when you're on the go constantly, you're burnt out. You're forcing things to happen that don't need to happen. It just leads you to a space where things are not working out, and you're wondering why. It's because you won't take a break. It's because you don't give yourself space to breathe and to be and to attract the things that you want. You're still worthy if you're sitting on your couch. If you're still worthy if you're sleeping. You're attracting the things you want in your life still, if you're doing nothing. Because guess what? You existing is all you need to do. And this ties into like capitalistic and how, you know, they build you to be on the go and working all the time and be a machine. And like, you're not a machine. Be a human. Be a human. You're not a machine. We can get into that another day though. So there's this quote about patience that I wanted to touch on, and it says, patience is not waiting. Like, you're not waiting, God, send me something, like pleading and waiting in the darkness. No. Patience is trusting and making steady steps with intention. I made 1 step towards my goals today. I made 3 steps towards my goals this week. I made 10 steps towards my goals this month. And you have to realize that timing is a factor. Divine timing is a factor. When you're ready for the opportunity will come, and everything that's meant to be will be. So you have to keep that in mind when you're going through these things, when things are not working out, you know, how you expect it to. Keep in mind that God is in control. At the end of the day, God is in control. There's only so much we can do as humans. Oh, yes, I want to talk about working smart versus working hard, because in school, I was always a smart worker. I observed what was going on. I was never one to work too hard. Always a smart worker, always strategic in the way that I moved, and in the more recent years, very intentional. At first, it was just like being strategic and stuff. Having that intelligence to not move so fast, but move at the right pace, whatever that may look like. And it could be slower than others. It could be faster than others. I do want to insert like a video that describes this in better words than I ever could. It helped me tremendously, so I can definitely insert it. He'll let you know what I mean.
Young people, don't work hard, work smart, consistently. And what you'll do is you'll create a rhythm that heaven will respond to. And everything you want will come to you. You have to move, but you can't move aggressively all the time. It's just like working out. You can't work at a high intense level all the time, because if you do, you tax your nervous system too quickly. Well, it's the same thing in the godly realm. If you tax your physical, you don't have peace. That's your nervous system in the spirit. So what you need to do is move smart, strategically, schedule, plan, but be consistent in that, and heaven will move for you.
It's getting a little dark. The sun is setting, as you can tell, but I did want to thank you for watching this video if you did. And I want to let you know, like, I'm on Instagram if you did want to connect more and follow along with my modeling journey. And thank you for the background music, Avarunkis. I hope you have a good rest of your day. I'll continue to show up here. I hope you continue to show up. If not for me, then for yourself. I'll see you in the next video.